All right, I'd like to welcome everyone today. Thank you for being here for our first Power Your Lunch Hour. Today's series is featuring Jackie and Renee from Shift Physical Therapy and Wellness. They are going to be talking to us about 5 ways personal wellness leads to business success. So I'm going to turn it over to them in just a moment, and they will get started giving us some great tips and actionable items that we can use to get our new year off to a great start. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those into the chat today, and we will monitor the chat. We also have time reserved for the end if you have questions at the end. So either one, make sure that you connect with these ladies and get your questions answered. And without any further ado, we will get started, and I'm going to turn it over to Jackie and Renee.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We are so excited to be here for the first Power Your Lunch Hour. I'm just going to switch over and start sharing our screen here with you guys for our presentation. And we will get going. All right. So as Vanessa mentioned, I'm Jackie and this is Renee with Shift Physical Therapy and Wellness. We're just going to give a very brief introduction, so I'll hand it over to Renee here quick.
So my name is Renee Hancock. I am a doctor of physical therapy here at Shift Physical Therapy and Wellness. My background is that I graduated from PT school in 2007, and I worked in kind of the nursing home setting for about 2 years, and then another private practice outpatient setting for about 10-ish years prior to opening Shift Physical Therapy with Jackie.
So Shift is brand new to the Cambridge Iceni area. We just opened in October. Outside of traditional physical therapy services, we do specialize in women's health, which is an underserved area of physical therapy, especially over in this area. Outside of physical therapy, we do focus a lot on wellness. Some of the things outside of the physical therapy services that we offer are we offer some group exercise classes for adults, and then we also have a wonderful and exciting moms and littles class where we bring the littles in and they help design the classes and start on their wellness and active lifestyle at an early age. Something that you guys might not know about Shift Physical Therapy is our name actually stands for our values here at Shift, which the Shift values are self-love, hard work, inspiration, family, and trust.
All right, so let's kind of get into things here today. So diving into the 5 ways that personal wellness can lead to business success. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is that mindset matters. So one of the easiest things that you can do each day is just start your day with gratitude. What things are you really thankful for? One study actually showed that the benefits of writing down those gratitude components over time, right away, you may not notice an immediate change just from doing it for one day, but the change in your emotion actually changes over time. So at 4 weeks, people had improved emotions, and then that continued to increase over 12 weeks. It was even significantly more improved. So just something as simple as writing down 3 things that you're grateful for each morning can certainly improve your mindset. So some personal reflection, as leaders in business, we're oftentimes checking in with our employees, but are you really taking time to check in with yourself? How are you feeling? Are you stressed? Are you distracted? Are you depressed? Are you overwhelmed? So acknowledging those feelings and then determining an action to really overcome those personal challenges that really aren't serving you. So taking a moment and having some positive self-talk each day, making for sure that the things that you're saying to yourself are as positive as the things that we would be saying to others throughout our day. So again, that really positive mindset throughout the day. And think about how that mindset actually translates to your work day. What's your attitude or the attitude of your colleagues? So when you step in the door each morning, how does your attitude affect all of the employees around you? We know that a poor mindset or a bad day doesn't just affect us personally, but it definitely affects the people in our proximity as well. So making for sure that, take that time in the morning when you first get up before you even walk into your workplace to set that positive mindset and be grateful for the things that you've got going on.
And not that everything has to be sunshine and rainbows, but it is one of those things that you have to stop and ask yourself, are you setting intentions for your days, or are you just stuck in routine? So maybe even just starting your day of asking yourself what your intentions are and how you're going to set those intentions to start your day. And with gratitude, it doesn't have to be anything completely outrageous. Sometimes we are just grateful to have our coffee in the morning, and that's okay. But having that start to your day can get you started on the right trajectory for the rest of the day.
All right. So secondly, focusing on your own health. So how does nutrition and fitness and sleep, how do those things all translate to business success? Well, again, starting on that personal level and making for sure that we are taking one of the most underutilized medicines in the world and utilizing it to our benefit, focusing on our nutrition and our exercise and our sleep. So kind of starting with that nutrition component, nutrition is really meant to fuel our bodies, not only physically, but mentally. So if you're finding yourself fatigued and just unable to think of that next thing for your business or what it is that you want to accomplish in your day, looking back at your nutrition, what is it that you fueled your day with right away in the morning? Was it a donut, or was it something maybe with a little more protein and a more balance between protein and carbs and that sort of thing?
And then it's also looking at fitness, trying to find a way to add fitness into your lifestyle, whether that's just getting up throughout the day out of your desk and kind of removing yourself from the computer just to get up and move a little bit more. Sometimes that stepping away from what you're doing can help clear some of that brain fog up. It provides you with some mental clarity. And then just making sure that you're doing something at least 30 minutes a day, to get your body going and start moving better. As we mentioned on here, that nutrition, exercise, sleep, it's some of the most underutilized medicine in the world, and we can just set ourselves up for success if we take some, again, intention focusing on nutrition and exercise.
So the third part of that is the sleep component. You have to kind of actually set an intention to have quality sleep. And what does that mean? Actually setting a bedtime for yourself. And I know that sounds silly and it sounds like something we would do for a 2-year-old, but we have to do that as adults too, because we have to really make the time for quality sleep and plan ahead, make for sure that you've accomplished the things you want to accomplish before your bedtime. Because getting quality sleep is really going to propel your whole day. Also plan ahead and make for sure you're minimizing screen time for 20 to 30 minutes before bedtime. As business owners, we're guilty of checking emails and text messages and Facebook messages and all the messages right up until that last moment before we go to bed. But making for sure you actually set time to say, all right, I'm turning it off. I need to mentally prepare myself to go to sleep. And use our technology to our benefit. Most of our phones have like a do not disturb setting on them. Utilize that. Say, you know what, I'm going to bed at 9:30 tonight, and I'm setting my do not disturb so that if an employee is calling in sick for the next day or whatever is going on with my work day isn't interrupting my sleep for the night. And also thinking ahead and stopping fluids 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, so you're not having to make a nighttime run to the bathroom. So adjusting your fluid intake so that you're taking in your fluids early in the day and not right before bedtime.
So then we're going to leave you with this second step, just to ask yourself a question. What would it look like for you and your team if you did start implementing on your own personal side of things, good nutrition, better fitness, and better sleep throughout the day? Do you feel like your business would be more productive? Do you feel like you as an employee or as a leader of your business would be more productive? And we can't answer that for you, but we can definitely give some reflection and start thinking about what that might look like from a business perspective if we, again, set good intentions with some of our own personal wellness. This brings us to our third tip for developing personal wellness and how that could lead to business success is to continue to keep learning. We are forever students, and there's always something out there. We all know the world is changing, and there's something that we can learn not only from personal developments and leadership books, but by just other mentors in our area. So what are we doing to put yourself in proximity to the people who are doing what you want to be doing or that are filling your cup and serving you? There is a great book by Ken Coleman who actually talks about this, which is the proximity principle, and bringing yourself into proximity of the people that you want to be around. If you're looking to grow in your profession, who are those people, and finding those people, and then start learning from them and opening those doors.
Yeah, and then taking some time to really dive into personal development and leadership books. I read a current statistic that says the average person spends about 5 hours a day on their phone. Yikes. That's a lot of time on our social media, perhaps. And not to make assumptions, but how much of that time that we're spending on our phones is doing mindless scrolling or reading things that really aren't developing us as a person, or playing games that aren't, again, serving us and finding a way for us to grow and develop. So maybe, just setting aside, even if it's 30 minutes a day that you want to dedicate to growing yourself personally or professionally. Either way, I think, when you work on your personal development, it automatically improves your professional development as well.
And I think it's really important to always be gaining perspective from others. Not that you always have to take in everything that you're saying, but having an open mind to gain perspective. And you're going to learn how to communicate with those other people just by working on yourself as well. All right. Oh, this is one of our favorite images, is how you think setting a goal will go versus how it will actually go. So focusing on quality over quantity in your personal life. When we are setting goals, look at setting goals that are no more than 1 to 2 goals for you personally. Now, our brain cannot process much more than that. So if we're setting 5, 6, 7, 8 goals for ourselves, we have a tendency to stretch ourselves too thin. And what happens is we don't actually reach any of our goals because the focus is all over the place. So looking again at setting 2 goals, research shows that there is a decrease in the attainability when we set more than 2 goals, but we always have a lot of ideas and we're always eager to do more. But if we actually focus on just 2 at a time and we smash those goals, we just kill it, then we can always go back to some of the other goals that we have. And really, it's about making things a priority. Start writing down what is the thing that needs to happen first, and then you can get to some of those other goals later as well. And it will be a bumpy road. It's never just a straight shot to reaching those goals.
Always got to be a few bumps in the road. And then also looking at our relationships. Who are the people that we're spending our time with? Who are the people that we're choosing to surround ourselves with? Are they individuals who are providing quality to our life? Are they helping build us up, supporting us, providing us some positive reinforcement? Do you have people in your life that are aligning with your values? So I'm super blessed here at Shift to have Jackie by my side, somebody who constantly helps me grow personally, helps me grow professionally. And we have a nice relationship that we can do that for each other. Are you doing that for your employees, for other business owners? What can you be doing to help build up the people around you? And in doing so, they may be helping build you up as well.
I'm going to backtrack real quick because I want to provide you guys with a resource. If you're interested in knowing more about the goals and the research behind setting goals, there's a wonderful book by Chris McChesney and Sean Covey called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. And it does a really great job of kind of breaking down how to prioritize and how to not only have these great goals, but then to actually take action with them. So I'll backtrack, but now we're right back on track. Okay.
Yeah.
So our 5th and final wellness tip for personal wellness and how it can lead to business success has everything to do with being a leader. And are you extending wellness to your employees? Not only are you practicing these wellness tips personally, but are you sharing and promoting wellness within your company or with other employees? So do you create a culture that promotes this wellness? Are you looking at maybe when you're buying lunch, is it something healthy that's not going to create brain fog? And we know fun's good too. We're not taking away all the fun. It's okay to have your pizza parties, but are you being conscious of what that might look like for the company and for the employees that you surround yourself with? Do you offer a worksite wellness program? Do you encourage your employees to get up and be active for even 30 minutes, 15 minutes if that's all you have? What are you doing to help promote that wellness within the company and that culture of your business?
And sometimes that means investing in your employees' health and wellness and finding a way that you can put a little bit of your dollars toward helping your employees reach their personal goals. So imagine if not just yourself is working on all these things that we're talking about, but each of your employees as well, and the compound effect that can have. So sometimes as a business owner, it can be risky to put our dollars toward things, but knowing that the return on your investment in something like this, where you can invest in your employees' personal wellness and what that can create for your business.
So with that, we leave you with yet another question, because it really is about reflection, is imagine yourself in the majority of your employees. Think about if they even just focused on being 1% better every day. If they just focused on one component of the tips that we talked about today, what would that do for your business? If you yourself personally just focused on one of the tips that we talked about today, what would that do for your personal successes? And would that translate to your business success? I think that we can all agree that it likely would be a significant impact. And even a 1% change in your business, let's say that it translated to 1% of financial growth. For some of us, that adds up, that compound effect. And if we keep striving to do better each day, we can make a world of difference for not only personally, but again, our business success. So we are going to exit the screen share here and see if you guys have any comments, questions, or would just like to stop share. Woohoo, I did it. Technology at its finest, like hitting buttons. But yeah, any comments, questions? I didn't see the chat box, so.
Just pulling up the chat box here.
So when do you ladies exercise?
We actually exercise right here at Shift every single day together. It always depends on our morning, quite honestly. And then we do have the exercise classes too, so we sneak in a little exercise with work.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other thoughts or questions out there?
Have any of you guys practiced some of these tips just in your own business or personal life that you have noticed a great impact?
I
I'll
think a
speak to
lot
that a
of
little bit. Nope, go ahead, Art.
I think a lot of what you've described is environment similar to what we have over here. It's kind of a very positive, keep moving, eat right kind of environment. And you kind of need to have that, especially when lots of challenges are in place with keeping a business going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess I'll chime in. It was interesting, you guys, one of the first things you looked at in personal wellness is nutrition. And I've never been a big New Year's resolution type guy. I mean, in the past, I've done well until like January 4th. And then we tend to go off the rails a little bit. But it really focused on it this year. I mean, a couple kids and COVID-19 led to the weight 19. And so really this month just really focused on that. And you kind of mentioned it too with, you know, the three aspects being underutilized medicine. Man, it's amazing how much better you feel when you focus on something like that and really stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I myself took a little challenge here in January with my own nutrition aspect of things, and it's made a world of difference for my energy level. You know, I was really good. Jackie's always really good about helping me stay committed to exercise, but the nutrition side of things was something I hadn't been focusing on. And it's amazing what a difference it can make for your clarity of thought even.
I agree, but I have to say I do miss pizza.
I have your pizza. Every now and then you have to have something good.
It can be a sometimes food. I think too, that's one of the hardest things as leaders in business and people wanting to help others in wellness, that we have this grand idea that it has to be an all or none, when really it's about finding what's going to work for each individual person for one, but just like I said, that 1% better every day. What's one thing that you can take and focus on just that? It could be something as simple as, everyone always uses like cutting out a can of pop, or maybe you're drinking a lot of coffee throughout the day. Maybe you're just starting to narrow down from 5 cups of coffee down to 2. It doesn't have to be this big extravagant action, as much as it's just looking at what are some small components that I can change and stay consistent with, which I think is maybe one of the most underutilized words as well, as consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And not just even the gratitude. If you're doing it every day, it's going to take 12 weeks before you even feel like it's doing anything for you. And quite honestly, I'm going to admit that when I started doing it, it felt like a chore. It felt like a chore to write my 3 things of gratitude every day, until it just became habit. And now it almost feels odd not to do it. Like my day is thrown way off if I don't just take that intentional time.
I liked the graph that shows about how you think your goals will go and how it really goes. And I was listening to a different video last night, actually with a different group, but it just kind of emphasized that, like, starting, you know, just keep going, and you might go off path, but just keep heading there, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just so important to remember that you're not striving for perfection. It's that consistency that Jackie mentioned. And yeah, you're going to get off track, and that's okay. But getting back up again is important.
So for this group only, we'll tell you, we actually did just we made a TikTok, yay TikTok, of what it looks like to set your goals. And so Renee's got this straight path. She's just bouncing around. She's going, you know, I'm on top of the world is playing. And then it cuts to me, and I get knocked down, and I'm throwing myself on the floor and getting back up again and rolling all over the place, because that is what life is. And that's what it is to reach our goals. So you're going to get knocked down. You're going to get back up again. As long as you keep the why in mind. What are you doing? What are you striving for? Just keep trucking.
Does anyone have any books that they've read or enjoyed? Jackie mentioned 2 books, The 4 Disciplines of Execution and The Proximity Principle. So that just got me to thinking, you know, are there any personal wellness books or professional development books that any of you have read and enjoyed that perhaps you'd like to share?
So we have an intern working in our office here, and he's got a book he would like to share.
Yeah, I recommend One Thing by Gary Keller. He's the owner of Keller Williams Realty, and his main point is, what is the one thing I can do today such that everything else that I need to do becomes easier or obsolete? That's his main point. And it goes to the goals of setting that one goal, that one thing you can do today, that 1% better will make things easier in the long run.
That's great. Thank you.
Melissa actually recommended a book to me a couple weeks ago, and I finally got my hands on it and started reading it, but it's called The 1 Degree Shift. Again, following that same principle of what can you do to be 1% better every day, or make that just 1 degree shift, which can set a whole new trajectory for what you're doing. So I'm about 4 chapters into it, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I've got an arsenal of books. Get Out of Your Own Head is really good. Don't ask me for authors' names because it's good. Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books if you're looking to break some habits. I actually read that one first and then followed it up with The Power of Habits, which talks a little more sciencey about how our brain works. Extreme Ownership is probably one of my all-time favorite leadership books. All the books, all the things. Are you going to now spend a whole bunch of time reading, Vanessa?
We may. Our next phase may have to be a book club.
I will happily, for this book or for this group, Renee and I can put together a little gift basket giveaway and do a drawing for a personal development book. We would happily do that.
Sure.
Thank you. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
We will connect and make sure that everyone that's here with us today is entered into that drawing. And we will post the winner.
Perfect.
And as we near 12:30, does anyone have any other questions or anything they'd like to share? We want to make sure that we are respectful of everyone's time today and that we keep within our 12 to 12:30.
I think just Renee and I just want to thank you guys for listening and letting us do this. It's always nerve-wracking to get in front of a group of people, but we just really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Yes, thank you all.
And where can everyone find you at Shift?
Right here. You can find us. We're in Cambridge, 330 Garfield Street. South is our address. We're right between the Grand Stay Hotel and the John Hirsch dealership. We're here all the time. We're happy to be here.
And you have social media and a website people can look you up?
So at Shift PT Well is Instagram and Facebook. And then shiftptwell.com is our website.
Yes, and also if you visit the Chamber Business Directory, you'll find them there also. Our website, if you haven't been on our website yet, has a member information center. You can log in and you can direct connect with members through that member information center portal also.
Wonderful.
So thank you all again for being here today. Thank you to Jackie and Renee for the great presentation. It gives us a lot to think about. I hope that each of you will take some time to reflect on those questions, find some action items that can really boost you and your business going forward. Our goals for the Power Your Lunch Hour are to provide timely material that's relevant, that'll really help you in just a short half hour that you can spend with us and take something away that'll benefit you and your business. So we look forward to seeing all of you again. Power Your Lunch Hour will be on the 4th Tuesday of every month from 12 to 12:30. We'll be providing information about next month's session very soon, but it'll be in the area of your online presence and marketing. So watch for that coming soon. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great day.